Lucy, thank you so very much. We're getting ready to see two teams on the main stage that we have not seen yet in this tournament. So I'm pretty excited about it, and let's bring them out. Starting with the open bracket team, coming out is I7KX. And representing the European region is going to be rated R. Okay, Coach Andy and Prodigy, will you please join me on the stage? Coach Andy, I want to go ahead and start with you. This game has a lot of implications for your team on Pro League in this match. What are you going to do to make sure you get I7KX off their game?
I mean, we just got to focus on communication. Really, three of our players, English is their second language. So we just got to focus on ourselves and the team chemistry, you know, and call out the small stuff.
All right, and what do you think your biggest strength for this team is in this match and just going to take you over the edge?
I mean, individually, each of these guys can go off at any moment, you know, just about as a five, getting that chemistry. But each of these guys are dangerous when they're popping off.
All right, thank you, Coach. And Prodigy, I want to come over here to you. You guys have fought through the open bracket. You're representing your country in Brazil. How does this whole experience feel right now, getting ready to play on the main stage?
It's surreal, to be honest. I always thought that I wouldn't make it, and to be here, it's just surreal for us.
All right, and what do you think you're going to be able to do to take off against Rated R, knowing that they are a Pro League team, but you're an open bracket team coming out here ready to make a statement?
I mean, we just gotta make sure we want to win more than they do. And as it is right now, I'm pretty sure we are.
All right, thank you so much. Guys, good luck on this match. Lucy, I'm gonna send it back to you at the desk.
Thank you so much. Excited for this one, guys.
Oh, yes.
Potential for maybe an upset?
Yes, definitely a potential for an upset, Benson. And I might just turn this down because I cannot hear my voice twice in my ear. If not, I will just stutter all up on this stream right now. But I want to, reinforce some of the things that said on the desk. We're going to be doing TKX, number one, throughout the matchup. Number two is a lot of love for Prodigy there on the main stage. They talked about it on the desk. Prodigy, community member for a very long time. This guy loves Gears of War so much. The entire team coming from Brazil. It's all about those open bracket stories. And for that team to be playing in that region and having their struggles there, coming over to North America, dominating all the open bracket teams, not dropping the map, going undefeated, and now you get one of the Pro League teams in the EU region is not a better matchup. This game is going to be a great one. I'm super excited about who's going to be winning it, but then we also got a chance to see the bracket as well.
Yeah, I do also want to point out here, Guy, just from a personal standpoint, we had catering. Just a few hours ago, and Ryan Fools, our expert analyst, our wonderful analyst, actually tried to kill me.
Very bright.
Yeah, so there may be a moment where I get a little quiet, Guy. If that's the case, don't panic. Don't panic. I have a nut allergy, and he may have force-fed me nuts. I blame Ryan.
If you guys got me on a solo cast at some point,
you're
going to know what happened.
You're going to know exactly why. But excited for this one. As we mentioned, I feel like we have to reiterate the love I think everyone in the community has for Prodigy. A wonderful, wonderful individual, and you can see how much it actually means for him to be on the main stage.
Nah, yeah, definitely. You do see how much it means for him to be on the main stage. This is going to be a very good game. I'm looking forward to it. And we see the map cycles down. The map's loading up. Benson, let's get in.
All right, map number 1, District. We have a fairy tale story. Team from Open hasn't dropped a map, and now all of a sudden you find yourself playing against the Pro League team. How things can maybe get a little bit more difficult, and maybe the struggles could commence. But either way, we're underway. Round number 1, and we're gonna start up on board with the new boys, Guy.
Yes. So now, as we see, as we take care of these things over here, now we're going to be having IK7X take a look at the mini map. You have a 2-to-1 hill setup coming in for the boys over there. Now early on in this one. Uh-oh, we're gonna be on board with Dragons for this. As you see, multiple members, there we go, of Rated R. Up here, 2v1 situation towards the B hill.
I feel like this is going to be an important one as well for Rated R, if we're honest, guy, because this is one of those situations when you are the Pro League team, the expectation is on your shoulders to perform, right?
Yep.
You can't underperform. You have the weight of a nation, or a continent, I should say, on your shoulders as well. A lot of people really looking at you to come out, perform strong. But as we said, TKX, what a great story they've had so far in the open bracket.
Nah, definitely an amazing story for these guys here in the open bracket. You know, that, like I said before, Benson, those are the stories in which we want to see, right?
Yeah.
You know, you come out here, you come to America for the first time. You guys are playing on land for the first time.
Isn't that crazy? Like, think about your first time on land. It definitely wasn't a fairy tale fun like this.
No, it definitely was. I ended up losing to the same team twice, VBI.
That's
so
tough.
shout out to those guys out there if they're still, you know, watching some Gears of War. But but it was definitely a memorable experience. So here we go, round number 1. So far, you see the scoreboard. IK7X in the lead, in a good position currently. Prodigy getting some shots in, taking some damage in a 1v2 situation. Just trying to get out of there, but the pinch comes in for Rated R. And he's trying to stay alive, but he's manages to take one to the grave. So able to get that one. Now, IK7X, they have a nice lead, 70 points, and now they just need to end the round.
Now it's all about just building upon that lead, and as you say, closing it out. But as we say that, the pressure comes through. Tripcat coming in. It's going to force out Lucho to maybe try and make the play. No, gets neutralized. Contest still heavily going through. No one so far, at least from TKX, has been able to overextend from spawn. There's a fight going on mid-map. That's going to involve Dodez. If he's able to win that, which sadly he's not, potentially the OE could have had some success and maybe a break, but as it stands, it will be Rated R that win this round in 45 seconds.
Yeah, definitely could have had a break right there. And you're seeing right now, Dynamic able to trying to hold this home hill here in this situation. Trip cap domination coming out for Rated R, Benson.
Well, B has been broken as well, so keep your eye on that. The longer it goes on, though, the closer things are getting. Rated R about to take the lead in terms of points because A has been neutral. And I think, 39 seconds. This is going to be a TKX game, but the win condition is going to change as the B hill gets capped up. Cog still now with the victory. As once again, things going back and forth.
But this is the thing. Look at the respawns, okay? Rated R, round number 1. 4 players, 1 respawn in the bank, but you have 4 players on the other side for TKX with 1 respawn as well. So you can see this is both these teams' first game on the main stage as well. So you can kind of see the jitters on the first half. Some of these guys about to be out of respawns, but with both teams committing so much, by Rated R coming out on top of this round, that is so important. But now they're still going to be on an even playing field because it's not like one team has drastically more respawns than the other.
Right. What gets really interesting for me here, Guy, is the situation you find yourself in when you're playing your own game, right?
Yeah.
When you're playing maybe a little aggressive and your own respawns go down, well, if the other team really, really wants to have a go at the round, just because they're trying to, counter as hard as they are, their own lives are going to go down as well. So you're left in this weird situation where after 1 round, a lot of people in this lobby are going to be down to just 2 respawns available.
And that's the crazy part about the whole situation. So now that even though you are going to get a respawn after every single round, you still have to value what you got now.
Oh, absolutely.
So I will say you don't even want to commit more than 2 respawns into this round. If anybody, people don't even have 3 respawns to put into the round, right? So you almost want to say if you do not win an initial, you want to concede if you're either one of these teams.
It's a strange situation where both teams realistically could do with an eco round. So the opening of this one, very, very important. And already, first blood potentially should come in here for Rated R. It's going to be Dragons that flies forward. He's trying to find a couple of kills to his name, but Dynamic was ready and waiting to shut him down.
Yeah, he was definitely there, ready and waiting. Down low, TKX being super aggressive towards the home hills. They're going to be there to cap their opponent's home hill. Dynamic gets it done. Elimination win condition. 2 members from Rated R is going to spawn in now, but nobody. I say TKX just needs to get over there. They need to get their home hill. They have a player there. They have the home hill of Rated R locked down, and they're using so many respawns in this round, but across the board, they need to be careful.
And Sergio just decided as well that he wanted to spawn in here, so it's going to be another respawn potentially used to defend a tough situation try and fight out of your own base, but it looks as if for now at least, Rated R have survived. Still TKX in control in points, 60-30. The B hill though is being taken away from them, as is C. Rated R almost with a sneak trip cap.
Prodigy, he gets in position, pulls the Lancer out, just trying to lock down his B lane, get information to his team. And now TKX is going to set up on the map. The round's going to slow down now for a bit. So 2-1 hill setup for Rated R. We're going to see how TKX wants to break the setup.
And this is the point in the game where you want to start targeting people, right?
Yep.
You want to try and find out exactly where certain individuals are.
And there's one in particular that you're looking for.
Definitely is. Lunarsk, that's the player you're going to want to target with, of course, no respawns left. It would be huge, but as I say that, it might not even matter whatsoever. A couple players do go down for both teams, actually, so maybe the stalemate that we have ourselves in now at least might commence for a little bit.
Toast. He's going to be able to get Dodes out of there. TKX, they had a good lead to start this one off. 3 players looking to rush the home hill. The rest of them are choosing not to spawn in. So unless he can clutch up and do something crazy, can he take one more to the grave is the question. Now, he did manage to give the rest of his teammates the right to spawn, so after he got the kill, they chose to all flood in. Was it the right decision, Benson? We're about to find out. They just need to get the home hill back. They're getting the kills. Dodes, he gets the one that he needs and cleans up the next one on the ground.
And it's important because that actually forced Sergio to spawn in from Rated R because he was thinking, all right, my teammates are going to win it here, my teammates are going to win it here. He's down to 0 respawns left.
So this is
going
to be a 4v3 with the advantage in favor of Rated R. You see the skulls on the side of your screens. That means that that player cannot spawn back into the game. So these are big kills. They need to try to hunt down any of these players with 0 lives. So all the kills that TKX can get in this situation can lead them to the win in this round.
Well, 27 seconds left, and it will be a Rated R round. This has definitely not been
That's an elimination.
Clean cut map. There's been a fair amount of maybe misplays in terms of using your lives, maybe spawning in a little too early there, but from both teams, I think it's fair to say the economy in terms of lives is it's pretty bad right now.
It
Pretty
definitely
bad
is.
indeed.
Outside of Toast, everybody has one respawn, right? But then think about it like this. You're going into the next round, everybody has one respawn. You can almost just play it like execution off the initial.
Well,
and that's kind of how the end of that. That's kind of how the end of that last round should have got played out.
Right.
Once it became a 4v3 situation and you knew it was 3 members on an opposing team that you just needed to get a kill on, as long as you got time in that round, just slow it down, go on a hunt, and see what you can find.
Well, it's an interesting situation, right? Because it's not even necessarily that that's how it should have been played out. It's almost that that's how it has to be played out, right? When your economy in lives is that low, you really aren't forced with many options. But one thing that I don't think we really touched on that much is just playing on a main stage. Right, you have to think, you have this fairy tale story from TKX going all the way through the open bracket.
Yep.
But your first time on a main stage, a lot of people here in San Diego, it can be a little nerve-wracking. It might take 1 or 2, maybe 3, 4, maybe an entire map just to get the jitters out.
Now, this is Rated R's first time on the main stage as well because, that's our newest rookie team in the European region, and they made it to the Pro League. So we've seen them in the first week have such a great showing, but the rest of the weeks after that, we had our #1 and #2 team from last season start to take the reins, and some of the other guys who were around that mid-tier throughout Gears 4 came back and kind of went back into, their positions, how we predicted kind of how the league was going to go. But Rated R, this is a good team, and this is the experience in which they need to grow.
Well, just one respawn for everyone on TKX. Almost the same can be said outside of Toast on the side of Rated R, but this is, of course, an advantage because of that. Well, Rated R, despite the early kills going TKX's way, already a couple players from Rated R have fallen. Trip caps coming through. Is anyone going to be able to touch the Sea Hill? I don't think so, and that is the round.
And that's a beautiful round that you want to see out of TKX there. They needed one of these early ones, win the initial, win the round. So the thing is that you have Rated R putting in just as many respawns as these guys are as well, right? So, even though they are down 2-0, the advantage, and it's not fully out of their grasp to come back, because we've seen throughout this tournament, some teams, they commit too many respawns early on, and you could almost just chalk up the rest of the rounds to the other team in a half.
You're absolutely right. And of course, you get your first round win as well, which is only going to do you wonders in terms of confidence. Just, show yourselves, this isn't going to be a blowout. You can fight back. And if you can tie things up heading into the kind of second half, that would be a perfect situation for TKX to find themselves in. But we start things off on board with Sergio from Rated R. They have a couple of players right in front of him. Does he want to try and force the fight? Well, teammate is in support. Sergio now starting to try and push a little bit further forward. There's a shock grenade down. The kills all in favor of Rated R, and that is a much better start from the Europeans.
Yeah, that shot grenade did a good job at zoning out Dodes where he couldn't really escape from that positioning. And now Rated R is able to get into the mix. Prodigy finds one, trying to save his teammate, but he's going to choose to reset, knowing that a player is behind him for the pinch. The question is, can TKX get out of this difficult position and reset? But it looks like Rated R just may put their foot on the gas and try to push on over towards that home hill.
I mean, I just love that from Rated R. Just consistently trying to force 2 versus 1s. And eventually the trades will be in their favor. A couple of players, as we mentioned, in the last round of the first half, down to no respawns left. Zoda's going to be the first one. And Lucho will be the second to join him on this life as well. So a couple of key players that Rated R can try and target.
No, definitely a few that they can target. So Rated R, they only have one here under their control. TKX, they have one, but they also have a slight lead. Now, both these teams, it's been very difficult for them to get control over here towards this B hill. And Prodigy's gonna fall, but Sergio gets caught with the Botok headshot. We talked about, you heard the guys on the desk saying how powerful that Botok has been. Almost like 99% to the body if you can hit it.
It's so strong. It's so strong. You land a couple of shots and all of a sudden it can turn the tide of a fight. That's for sure. Is round number 4 here. Starting to develop in maybe a couple of win conditions here. Dynamic, Lucho, Dodes, Prodigy, all no respawns left. You have to be very, very careful. Sam's, of course, the only one who does have the added benefit this round, at least, of a respawn.
Now, this one is going to start to slow down. This hill 2v2 situation, actually kind of like a 3v3. All members of TKX are down here towards the bottom half of the map. They know that they have the lead, and as long as nobody's flanking them, they're okay to just play this from a defensive position. I'm very curious how this shot grenade is going to be used. Like, if I'm TKX, I'm putting it right there at the top of the stairs to block them off, get as many points as you can, and maybe try to rotate out, because you know the drop shot's about to be used, and that's the shot grenade. He knew the sweet spot. He knows that players love to sit on that cover, so he just preemptively threw it, and it was a good one for the zone.
I'd love, of course, for them to try and take some form of control elsewhere here. Put the added pressure on the Rated R, as things are. It would be TKX that win this round in 97 seconds, and maybe this is the rotation I was looking for. A few players already starting to think over towards that B hill. They'll give up the home hill for now. That is going to give Rated R control, though, in terms of the win condition. 40 seconds. And Rated R will go 3-1 up.
So Rated R did a good job, able to finally get that home hill. Now the slight lead. TKX is trying to isolate one player in his juice. Both players hop in, but Sam's not able to get the kill. No, gets a good shot, but he recognizes that multiple members of Rated R is watching that home hill, and TKX needs to rethink their strategy.
And that's okay from Sam's, because that was the last time you could try and be the hero, try and make the play, but a team kill comes through there as well. Amidst the chaos of that fight, Prodigy left to really have to try and go big. A 1 versus 2. Teammates now shooting over the top. They get the down as well. This could be the opening TKX need, but the problem is time is of the essence. You have 9 seconds to try and turn things around. Swarm will still win, so Prodigy is going to be forced to try and collapse in on towards the A-hill.
Trying to get around towards the spawn, but a player spawns up knowing that he's going to get more lives at the halftime, blocks off the cutoff, and now you're going to see just Rated R go up 3-1 at the half.
I feel like expected, just knowing that that's a pro league team. I think now you're getting a couple of the main stage jitters out the way in the first half. I want to see TKX come back strong in the second half, because they showed, in terms of individual ability there, they definitely have it in quite a big amount.
They definitely do, Ben. So they definitely do. And now in the second half, one thing I want to see out of both these teams is just managing their respawns a bit better.
A lot better.
Yeah,
a lot better.
We are now currently in our championship bracket. Every single game, folks, is an elimination match. One of these two teams, their tournament life is on, both their tournament lives are on the line, but one of these guys are going home, and the other one I think will progress into the money, which is super important. You know, 9th through 16th, $5 grand.
Decent amount, that's for sure. And how TKX, I'm sure, would love
Good
to
drop shot pickup.
Try and complete that fairy
Good job
tale.
by Rated R, using that shot grenade to block off the members of TKX and to get that power weapon.
Already a couple players going down, the win condition coming in. Rated R just a couple more seconds. The trip cap should be secure, and that is the round. 4-1. A big advantage now here in map number 1.
So we've seen multiple times this week teams win 4 rounds in a row and make that comeback. It happened today. We've seen some 4-1 comebacks. We've seen some 4-0 comebacks happen yesterday. With the win condition of escalation in the rounds being just cut down a little bit more, we're seeing some more epic moments.
Also key to note that
Yes.
it's happened against Europeans.
Twice.
Yes, the same team twice, but.
Speaking of the bracket, like we didn't get a chance to fully talk about the bracket a lot, and I'll save that after this map because there's some interesting matchups in there that we didn't get a chance to comment on.
For sure. Only 2 very interesting different sides of the bracket. Of course,
It
you
really
do end up
is.
with Reciprocity and NRG on the same side, but they would have to meet in a semi-final. Of course, do remember there is no winner's bracket final, loser's bracket final, as you may be used to. Single elim, you simply had 2 semi-finals and, of course, the final.
This drop shot is so important. TKX looking to get it done. I'm loving the team fire coming out of these guys. Keeping Rated R back. The drop shot's picked up. They give him a little payback, managing to get a kill, but that's a double kill from Rated R, and I do believe that the drop shot probably was on the ground as well, but it's not in nobody's loadout just yet, so it might be out of play. Can Prodigy get in there and get that kill? He cannot, so maybe a home hill setup in favor for Rated R. They're going to cap the home hill of TKX now currently.
And it definitely feels like Rated R has come out in the second half, just controlling the tempo, controlling the pace, really putting the pressure on TKX. They've almost shifted into a different gear, if you will. And Sergio will back away from this one. Teammate still in support, wait for at least a little bit of health regen before flying back in. And he get the revive on his teammate. No, he can't, and Prodigy will make them pay.
Great double kill to get your home hill back. 2 members down. And so both these teams need to be cognizant of the drop shot that's going to be spawning up top. That's going to be back in maybe about like a minute 20 seconds there on the board. So need to watch out for that one. But the push is good. The Lancers are out. Great teamwork here about the Brazilians plus the 1 Argentinian in Lucho. And they're getting done. Now they just need to hold this setup, see what Rated R wants to bring back to them.
17 eliminations there for Prodigy, having a great time on main stage for the very first time. Of course, he'd love to try and make the comeback here in the map. Down 4-1, a lot of work to be done by TKX. Rated R still very much in control in points, but not necessarily controlling the hills. A quick glance at the minimap, and I'll show you how both teams are currently setting up. Potential for dynamic, maybe number 4 on the minimap to try and push through, put pressure on the home hill of Rated R. Try and win the round based off trip cap.
Yeah, Sam's gets a great shot up there towards the top end. Now they're going to be at a disadvantage. That push over there, Sam's finds another one. He needs to wait for his teammate to get there. Now they're going to finally be in position. I don't know if they know this guy is in the corner to the left. Prodigy may be unaware of it.
Well,
3 members
now.
here of Rated R. Good shots in. That player should go down soon. One did go down in the back. Sam trying to clutch up. Can he get the cleanup? He needs some help. He manages to get one and puts a good shot in. But where's the reinforcements?
Oh, the trip cap's coming through from Dynamic.
Oh, they're doing what they need to be doing.
Yeah, that was the pressure from him that I was expecting. I'm waiting to see just push through. Really keep Rated R on the back foot, and the lead, of course, will start to develop and become even bigger. 172 to 127. Rated R still not getting points. Finally, will start to as they capture up their home hill, but a lot of work to be done. It will be a TKX round in 30 seconds.
Dragons is not spawning in currently. He's going to see if his teammates can make something happen. He's letting them know, hey, man, I'm on respawn alert. So
this is a
TKX
2v5 right
needs to
now.
win 1 respawn.
This is a 2v5 because Toast and Dog
Yeah,
still
3 members
Toast
aren't
goes down.
spawning in.
Now you need to be careful because obviously for Dog, you don't want to necessarily just go down, but it doesn't matter either way. Round 1 based off in limbs.
And that's smart there on the boys of Rated R. That's the round in which TKX needed to get some momentum in their favor, Benson. But most importantly, both these teams being more aware of those respawns, and they're protecting them early on, making sure that they know which rounds they need to concede. They got the main stage jitters out.
I think that's what the first half was.
Yeah.
You look at the way the players were just spamming respawn and just getting back into the fight. Like, no, I don't want to lose this round. Sometimes you have to give up rounds, and something that we saw NRG do a little bit earlier on, 30 seconds left. But in terms of win condition, they said, no, just don't respawn. We'll be absolutely fine. Of course, for them, that didn't necessarily work out. But
I just want to say it's so much utility on the side of TKX. You got the flash grenade, you got the Botok in the player's hand. He's probably playing in those middle rooms that juice or info. You got one of your front 3 spawns for the extra nade. You got 2 flash grenades up top as well to utilize. But what Rated R has going for them is their shot grenade is up top next to the drop shot. So they're able to bring that to the fight a lot quicker than TKX. So if they can just stop stop them from picking it up right away, maybe they could get the shot grenade up into place to make a difference. But
not the case.
It looks like they didn't need it because they got the first blood, they got the power weapon, and now it's rated R on their back foot.
Drop shot, of course, is still available for others to use. Should he find a good opportunity to do so. The shot grenade is out, and there's the first drop shot kill. Dragons will go down. But Jared left to maybe scramble away a little bit, but he wants to try and take the fight. Teammates not with him just yet.
Dome is feeling confident in this one. Managing to dodge a few shots. He misses the reaction shot there. Trying to take out Dynamic. He calls for his teammates, lets them know that they're weak, and they managed to get Dynamic. But you see the cross from the mid-room. Lucho is going to stop the assault. Good lance across from him to just slow things down a bit. Now, all heals in favor of the blue squad.
TKX controlling things quite nicely, but E will be slowly but surely capped up by Rated R. They have a fair amount of numbers. It's a 3 versus 2. Dodos will try and change things up a little bit. Dragons left because of that double kill scrambling away. TKX, they're not going to give up E for free.
Not at all. And you see Dragons just trying to scurry away, but he's going to fall. And, you know, and he's going to be in his opponent's spawn, so that's an easy cleanup. And take a look at the mini-map. You're going to see multiple members from TKX make this rotation up top, try to start preparing for that next drop shot.
And it's Dodos who's actually put himself in a great spot. That's going to be number 1. You see, if he's smart, and maybe a couple of mistakes come from Rated R off spawn,
he has an angle there,
he
too.
can put some great pressure on the home hill. If they decide to collapse, it could be almost a bit of a sneak trip cap, which if Rated R try and put a lot of pressure down low on towards E, it would just absorb so much of that.
No one knows he's in his position.
That's the key, right? He's been so sneaky, guys.
Here's his moment, Benson. This is what he was waiting for. He needs to just walk it over. He got a pistol, wants to get some damage in. I love what I'm seeing. Get the free kill. Now you're on your opponent's side of the map. You can just cause some issues. Has Dragons in front of him, get some shots in. He's telling the rest of his teammates, move up. I need some help. Can one of you guys get to the spawn?
The problem is his teammates can't die in this situation, otherwise it's going to be left, leaving him high and dry. And unfortunately, he's taking a couple of shots. But now the support comes through. This should be an easy 2 versus 1. The pressure on the home hill of Rated R. It was perfect execution. The revive will come through. And if I'm honest, Rated R in that specific situation just got massively outplayed.
They're trying to get back to home. They're trying to get to their side of the map because they was in enemy territory for way too long. And they almost make it back safely.
So close with the melee, but
Sergio
so far.
finds them both.
Oh, don't throw these rounds away. These are the important ones that you close out. 20 seconds for the win condition. Sergio left just quickly glancing back. Of course, you would love to try and save as many respawns as you possibly can. Is Sam's going to be forced to spawn in? The answer is yes, absolutely. Does not want to throw this round away. Sergio will find another kill. Finally, he gets shut down himself. He's going to be capped up again, so TKX still very much in the driver's seat. Prodigy may want to just consider holding that respawn.
Yeah, he should. You know, try to take as many respawns as you can until the late game. 2 members on the side of Rated R has 0 respawns. They can get back into the game if they wanted to. And now they have one. They just need to win one more round. But TK7X they pretty much have the advantages in their hands. You can almost just see from the body language. They're saying, hey, just calm down, pick up these players, play it slow. Don't try to take too much in the early game.
It wasn't even necessarily the play from Dodos originally just to be so calm. Of course, he pulls out the pistol, she used so rightfully called, managed to get a free kill, then applies pressure on the home hill, waits for his teammates. It's the fact that they recognize in that situation, they didn't need to stay. They could back away, they could get back towards their teammates, and they could help them on the fight for home hills, just buying more time, giving them a bigger advantage in the map.
And that's Doze over there too as well. You know, in the middle of your screen, being, you know, very animated, letting his team know what needs to be done there. So you're going to see TKX, they went in and gave themselves another utility. Yeah, so they gave themselves another utility grenade. And actually, no, I'll take that back. They go over and they block the nade on the other end, where they block that flash grenade for Rated R, and then Rated R gets a utility grenade for one of their front 3 spawns. So we'll see how that plays a factor into this fight, but that shot grenade won't be there anymore.
TKX, who were so successful last round and claiming the prize of the drop shot, this time not gonna be so.
Yeah, you need to get out of there, Sam. So your teammates are dead. You don't want to get caught out. I like the flash behind, try to cut off the route. He knew he's done one, but he's gonna hunt it. Has the second flash. Can he take one to the grave? Put some damage out. His teammates there for the revive, but they cannot get the kill. And you see the members of Rated R, they're on a manhunt, and they're getting those frags as well.
Rated R will control homes. That's DNF that they currently have full control over. The mid-neutral hill still very much locked in for TKX. I don't have to worry about that just yet, but really taking control of their own home hill would be great. It's going to be a 2v1 down low.
Oh,
Rated R
they're
trying to fight for the mid-neutral.
Looking for a sweet spot. Is that a double kill? He splits them both, but side rolls, they dodge. Now, can Sergio get out?
Bear in mind, Dragons and Toast, both with no respawns left. Same with Sams. But if you're TKX now and you target those players, you find those players, you give yourself a permanent advantage for the rest of this round. You could tie things up going into the last round and ultimately have such a big advantage in that round as well.
Dragons and Toast both down low, trying to defend this push, and they're trying to they have to get offensive, and they need to get to Eva. With that double, is looking good. Now they force themselves onto this hill. And number 2, which is going to be Prodigy, he just needs to be careful, rotate to his teammates up top, because at this point, this is a game of just slaying out, finding the kills in which you need, not so much the hills.
It's rotation at this point, right? Just keep the pressure on Rated R.
Can he clean it up?
Playing your dance as it stands, though. Downs coming through. The hill still very much controlled by Rated R as the players off spawn retake their home hill. Honestly, you might not even necessarily need to cap it at this point. You could just push through. Let the next person off respawn go for the cap again. Keep your eye on a couple of those lives. Sams is down and out for the count. He will not be back in this. So despite TKX having a big advantage for the most part of this, they're actually down a man guy.
Oh, yeah, they are down a man. 4v3. I mean, sorry, 4v5
Dynamic
in favor
cannot
of
die.
Rated R. They just need to find one of these kills. Can they get one of the members of Rated R? They cannot. And Rated R finds the kills in which they need. The elimination on the board, and they get it. Benton, it looked like TKX is going to make a comeback into this round, but as we see, the early game, the first half, is where the difference was made.
Yeah, I was thinking exactly the same. Maybe we could potentially see a little bit of a comeback, but unfortunately, the key kills that were needed for TKX just didn't come through. And on the flip side, for Rated R, of course, they did right at the very end. They win that last round based off elimination, and they will now have an advantage in the series 1-0. Again, single elim here in San Diego, so you lose this, and, well, you can say goodbye to progressing further in the tournament.
Yeah, but both teams learned a lot about that first match. I think the next match is going to be a little bit spicier. Even though our Anna started off, you know, we took care of all the mic issues in the beginning of the game, and now everybody in the venue is locked in on this one. So we'll see what our next map was once again, because that one right there, that one was district. I'm trying to think at the top of my head. Can I remember it? I cannot, but we'll find out soon.
You're the guy with the better memory. Huh?
Yeah, right.
I was too busy choking on peanuts that Ryan tried to feed me.
I can't believe that.
Could have been bad. Could have been
Damn,
very bad
Ryan.
indeed. But either way, TKX, I was not necessarily impressed the way they were able to start the game, but the way they recovered, looking at the second half, very much learning from their mistakes, calming down. Again, something you heard the Dash talk about, you heard myself and Guy talk about it as well. Your first time on a main stage can be a very, very scary kind of feat. It does take a little bit to, you know, just adjust to life on a main stage.
No, it definitely does. It's a completely different experience, but, you know, any player who wants to win a trophy, who wants to win a championship, they have to play on that main stage. It's going to be a different experience. It's almost like 3 tiers, you know. You're playing at home, that's number 1. You know, granted, we'll say it like this, it's about 4 tiers, right? You're playing at home and ranked, right?
On,
then you go to your first
on.
competitive tournament, right? That's tier 2.
And
then the
death.
open bracket, the passion pit is tier 3. And then tier 4 is that main stage as you just kind of grow and blossom into your esports career. And so now both these teams will become better after this.
I mean, it's even more than that as well. The first
Yeah.
time you couldn't necessarily be playing next to your teammates,
True.
right? You're so used to, you know, how do you communicate online versus how do you communicate online? Simple things that people may often overlook can change massively, right? Because if I talk to you online, maybe with a little bit more aggression, because, you know, we're both at home,
Yeah,
right? I'm
right.
gonna call you an idiot. Why'd you push that? Well, am I still going to have that same mentality when you're sat next to me and you're, you know, a couple inches taller than me and a bit stronger than me? Probably not.
No, it's definitely going to be a different vibe when you're sitting next to your teammates versus you talking to them online there.
You get away with a lot of stuff online.
Nah, you definitely can. I know, you know, during the map, I said, you know, I wanted to talk about the bracket just a bit because the one matchup that I saw in the second round, the 2 best teams in a European region having a face-off against each other.
Round
EU's
2,
Finest and Regal Reserve. That's going to be a good one. And then you had the matches of, you know, Vision versus Fire and Ice. That looked like a solid matchup. Glory versus Simplicity coming up after that. You have the 2 top LATAM teams on one side of the bracket, the 2 top North American teams on the other side. And so it's looking set up currently to have a LATAM in a final maybe.
Maybe. Potentially.
Maybe.
We'll wait and see. There's still some Europeans in
It's
the
a lot.
bracket,
It's a lot that can happen. It's the first round.
There is, and upsets are going to happen, right? Let's be honest. We know upsets are going to happen. Upsets always happen. It's simple, right?
Yep.
And single elim, the problem is when an upset happens in a double elim, well, you just go down into losers bracket. You keep playing. Not going to be the case in a single
All
elimination
pressure.
tournament.
And both these teams on the stage is feeling that pressure as well. So here we go. Now, as you guys see on the right side of your screen, the winner of this matchup plays reciprocity. And right before that, EU's finest Regal Reserve is going to be a good one. Gods versus Mazier. If Gods can take out Parallax, that's going to be a winner's bracket open team who came out. They have not lost all tournament, while Gods, on the other hand, lost twice in the pool play. And then right below that, the NRG matchup.
So what would you say your favorite game of today could potentially
Favorite game of the day potentially?
Yeah, just looking at that bracket, what would you say you excites you the most?
For today,
it's just today.
EU's finest Regal Reserve.
Okay.
That's definitely an important matchup that's happening early that is going to, say a lot for that region. A lot of those guys are going to be tuned in for it. That's pretty much like the finals for them over there.
Right. Because, of course, we joked a little bit about, comebacks that we've seen so far. And EU's finest, sadly, has been on the receiving end of both of them. Of course, late last night, a 4-0 advantage against Reciprocity. They win 5 straight. And it happened again earlier on. I believe it was, a 4-1 lead this time. And they throw away that map as well. So, unfortunately for them, problem just closing out these maps, having that big lead, great play style, and then all of a sudden just changing things unnecessarily. So, for me, that game could be maybe a bit of a spoiler. Maybe that's the upset that we might see today.
Yeah, maybe it is going to be one. And then, but then on the flippy and on the other side, it's a lot of, talented, teams that came out the open bracket and a lot of mid-tier North American teams that can definitely thrive in a single elimination bracket. But, enough foresight on that. We'll get to those games when it's time.
It's always nice to, have a bit of bracketology, though.
It is, right? We don't get a chance to, break down those conversations sometimes.
That's what the desks get to do all the time. We don't get to do it. So it's nice every now and then just have a quick glance at the bracket and just give you guys a little bit of our insight or how we're thinking about the rest of this tournament. But either way, map number 2 underway. Of course, rated R, they're going to be the blue squad. TKX red for game 2. Rated R with the advantage coming in.
Man, this asylum map's going to be a good one. Both these squads, they recognize that, hey, we lose, we're going home. Rated R 1-0, and we're seeing early on, this one being slow. They're trying to see, both teams trying to get to the other side of the tracks. This train is definitely going to clean up that one. You don't want to revive your teammate there, but 2v2, Sergio almost getting caught off guard, and you see Rated R gets it done.
That was such a brutal shot. Teammate down. Get me, the train, get me. And the train
so what happens is that train comes through and it's there for about 7 seconds. But if you can get to the other side of the tracks, then sometimes if you have more numbers, you can isolate an advantage for your team and take a clean fight.
By trying to utilize the environmental effect to your advantage. And unfortunately, Lucho will fall there, and he isn't too pleased about that. And the one thing that I do want to see just a little bit of improvement from it is, again, the economy of your respawns. Don't use too many. Already, Prodigy's going to be down to 2 of 4 available. Of course, he will earn 1 back if he chooses to spawn in this round. Of course, that will be 2 of 4, but you get 1 back after every round. Is he going to choose to hold or not? That, to me, is going to be the sign of, again, improvement from TKX.
I definitely say, so all 5 players live for each team. If IK7X, if TKX loses his next team fight, I believe that they hold their spawns and they go into the next one. Don't put too much into this round, but sometimes if he's so close, towards the late game, and you're just like, all right, we have to secure it, but they realize their mistakes from the last time.
You get stubborn. You just want to consistently spawn in because you believe you can win, and it's almost a trap that teams can put you in. And it's that fake belief. And it's 3-4 from Rated R.
But Toast on his back foot, got 2 players pushing him. Doge goes down, looking for the turnaround, and he gets a double kill.
Oh, that was too easy. Almost too easy indeed. A nice double, and now all of a sudden Rated R can scramble across the map, start putting pressure elsewhere. You see a few of those little arrows making their way over towards the mid-neutral hill. Sergio has the support of the teammate as they look to shut down Lucho up top. Unfortunately for Lucho, he will go down. Nice fights being taken here by Rated R, taking all of the correct fights.
Now, one of the big differences here, but especially with these 2 teams, is that, coming up into this event, Rated R was in a pro league. They got so many reps in, they was in a 6-week pro league playing the top 3 teams in the European region. On the flip end, you know, TKX, you know, they have their Challenger Series tournament every Sunday.
Right.
And it's about, you know, it's a few teams that play in that every weekend in Brazil, but, you know, their main practice squad is going to be Black Dragons.
And I was going to say that the practice as well is something to consider for regions, right? Something that we talked about a lot throughout kind of Season 1, Season 2, and Gears 4 as well. What's the practice in Europe actually like for EU's finest, of course, back then? And the answer was always, well, it's going to be very hard, right? So when they came over to North America, it was tough playing against teams who practice so consistently at the top level. The same can be said here for TKX, but what's so impressive is just how good they actually are, considering maybe the lack of practice they're able to receive in their region.
And especially, also, one thing else to know is just teams that's on their level, right? Could be a bunch of teams who don't scrim, but teams that is there. And I think Black Dragons is just the best practice that they can get. Those two teams always playing against each other a lot, just practicing these strategies in which they see on Pro League Live and here at these events, and now put them into fruition. And you know, we're seeing the fruits of their labor.
I mean, hopefully it gives the rest of the region maybe a little bit of confidence as well. Hey, maybe we get the open bracket, we can go through. There's no reason why we can't make it to a championship bracket and try and put ourselves a round away from earning some cash. However, the problem for TKX is Rated R have seemingly now found themselves into a nice little rhythm, a nice little flow as the trip cap starts to come through. Notice will get the down though, so
good kill.
Gonna put a stop to that and crucial kill. Very, very important. This home hill should be good now to be recapped. If you're Rated R, you don't need to over-apply pressure in this situation.
It's looking like, you know, this is also a TKX map pick. So I'm going to assume that this is going to be their better map. Because if you got your first match on the main stage, you're going to be picking your best map there, right, Ben? And so you see on the retake, they're trying to get wide and group up, just making something happen. This Flash just going a little bit too deep, but dove. Gets a shot over the gate. Sam's gets isolated. Can he take one to the grave? Yes, he can. Huge. He's looking to take two.
Oh,
big kill.
He's feeling very confident here. A situation which really should never have been able to escape. He was stuck between 3 players from Rated R and somehow able to kill one. Now still taking a prolonged fight. And his teammates are going to be here. It's going to force
he gets
player
the down.
away. That's a big, big down. Very, very well played from Sams.
And big shout out to Lucho. He gets a double kill there in towards middle, which allowed them to get that B-Hill cap and take some pressure there off of Sam's. But it looks like TKX may want to go for the final blow in this round and tie this up 1-1 on top of the home hill for Rated R. 3 players. Sam's on the pinch. They take out the last one, and no members spawning in for Rated R.
Yeah, good decision, and that was a fantastic kind of comeback in terms of how that round started from TKX there. It was very much Rated R. I mean, they were, what, a second away from a trip cap of their own
Very
before
close.
A big 1v1 is won on their own home hill, and then TKX just turned things around. A nice momentum shift that they're going to need here to give them some confidence in game 2.
On your screen, on a very far right side, you have Lucho, Prodigy, Dodes, Sam. So we're looking like both teams deciding that the shot grenade is going to be priority in this round, and we'll see how they utilize that, bringing that over towards that neutral hill, or most importantly, stopping that home hill push from either team.
Well, very close game so far. I want to send it over to an Astro Gaming listening with Rated R.
Nice, pre-test. Nice, toast, have the kill. The last one on toast, Last one on toast. Yeah. Make sense. Press up. Across front top. Yeah. There's 2 of you on home. Come back. Go B. I look the middle. Go B. They will go B. Dragons, watch my back. Across front. They will rotate B, yeah? Middle, no. Yeah. No. Don't be. Get down. First trap. They push me. Okay, push me. I want blood. Please. 65. One on top. I come. Pushing B. One shot. Oh, I need to reload. Need to reload right there. Lancer on B. Ready, go, one bullet on B. Nice. It's okay, it's okay. Yo! Oh,
Get big,
yeah, yeah.
No one died, no one died, no one died.
I'm watching middle.
look the middle, dude.
Where's the new shock? When's the new shock? 20 seconds. Set up again, exactly the same setup.
They play home maybe.
One coming B.
no, they go back to B, they go back to B.
Look the middle.
3B, I need help on B, I need help on B.
I am with you, I am with
4B.
Look the middle, please. Look the middle, please.
you. We play for B, they play for B.
Bro, there's
Cross with me,
4B,
cross with me.
4B. Right,
Okay,
I'll push you,
okay,
Dragon.
I see you great, man. I am the player, I'm the player.
Cross it, he's weak.
I'm on top,
Middle.
One bullet. Roll back. Nice. Do that. Careful.
Lost you, sorry.
Stay on B.
Behind on a home.
Okay.
Good one.
Careful.
I break the home.
One bullet from me.
Out of
Nice,
time.
let's go. One more. I broke the home. I'm not gonna spawn.
Cool, calm and collected comms there from Radar. Impressive stuff. No panicking, controlling the map very, very well.
Nah, yeah, they didn't sound flustered at all. They sounded super focused, just practicing, just prioritizing the next objective. They're going to win this round off of time with their home hill locked in and secured. We'll see. Will both teams have any shot grenades down? I want to see something big for these guys to fight for. Put an anchor down on the map for them to make some rotations around, have some other options if they find themselves in a slower round to kind of wait for that power weapon. Especially when you know that your opponent's going to be playing around as well. Sometimes it makes the next play easier to figure out.
Absolutely. And stands 2-1 to Rated R. Of course, they win this one. They'll win the series 2-0.
Both teams already have those shot grenades. They're thinking and preparing towards the second half when that neutral hill moves up towards top E at the entrance.
Yes, keep your eyes well on Dynamic and Prodigies in terms of their life count for TKX, both with one respawn available. Same can be said for Dragons on the side of Rated R. So a few key players just to keep your eyes out for. Maybe they get targeted. You could see a numerical advantage very, very early, actually, in this round.
Rated R. Slow down, trying to see if TKX wants to make a move towards this B hill. Both these teams looking for angles. Leonard, you see his player just kind of cringing there a little bit with that Lancer angle. It's almost like, yeah, he knew that he was going to get prioritized, and they were probably going to try to make a push on him. So he backs up one tier. The train comes through. The question is, which tracks is the inside one? 2 players from each team. Prodigy is going to cross over to the other side. Nobody makes it from the other team. They're going to try to isolate this, knowing that they have an extra man on this side, but they have to hit the shots.
Oh, there's a 3v2. Now all of a sudden it's a 1 versus 2. And the fight commences.
They all
very
survive.
smart play. Really good play from TKX.
And yeah, Rated R, they gotta know, once you see Prodigy cross over like that, the other player has to try
You have to follow. You
Yeah.
have to. You don't have a choice because you're just leaving your teammates high and dry, right? At a man disadvantage.
If you have any nade, throw it over the top of the train, do whatever you can to help out there. But here's the push from Rated R. They're going to go for a home hill push now that the B hill is in favor of TKX. But the kills still dropping in favor of the Swarm team. But as I say that, 2 of them is going to fall. The shock's going to hit the hill as well. They need to regain and not lose full control after that team fight.
Problem is, of course, the way that the lives are looking, it's going to be very hard for TKX to hold on if they lose another team fight. So the next couple of fights are going to be absolutely crucial. Lucho tries to back away, makes his way back over towards B, support his teammate who's currently down in front of him. He has a teammate with him himself, but Dragons flies forward. He'll die as well, but he took one to the grave with him.
Dynamics on his last respawn. That's going to be number 9 on your mini-map. Dragons is going to be on his last respawn as well as Prodigy. That's going to be 0, as well as number 6 on your mini-map. Multiple players.
Yeah. The problem
on
is
TKX.
The majority are exactly on that. They're on TKX's side. So again, if you're ready to the longer you can try and prolong this round, the better and the easier it's going to be. You will at some point find yourself with a numerical advantage. Start trying to take the fight.
Oh, Sam's with the side roll into the train. Dove managing to actually stay alive. Did not choose to kill himself. Double kill, triple kill coming out for Rated R.
The problem was for Dove, he couldn't kill himself because he had no respawns left, so he was desperately praying for a teammate to pick him up. Otherwise, he knew his team was going to be down a man, and sadly for them, not only down just 1, but down 2 because Dynamic is down. Prodigy's just gone down as well. If he falls, that is a massive advantage, and honestly, you could say that's pretty much the round then.
Rated R doing a good job managing these respawns, doing a good job wolf packing around the map as a team, prioritizing which hill they want to focus on. Their initials have been clean. They've been doing a good job pushing these home hills as well. Rated R in the first half, 3-1. Once again, as we saw in the first map.
Much better. They've grown into this series. They really have. Their life management, very, very good. And of course, here in the second map, they've looked comfortable, really, for the most part, honestly, Guy. And of course, as we mentioned before, they win this. It's 2-0. And TKX, sadly, after a very good run throughout the open bracket, will have to bow out of the tournament here in San Diego. So now you're at the point, Guy, where you're fighting for your lives. It may be your first time on main stage, but you got to put all that behind you. You're fighting for your life here in San Diego.
Now it's a possibility that this E-Hill team fight could work out better for TKX, especially with knowing how good the Lancers are on their team and how good their team fight can be. You see off the rip, they're going to be able to pick up 2 to 3 kills off the board for Rated R, so they'll have that E-Hill locked down.
Very nice start. You're absolutely right. The E-fight definitely favored TKX here in the first round of the second half. And they're going to need to repeat that, replicate it many, many times. They want to come back into this one, potentially try and force a game 3 during our first playoff bracket game.
This is a team, TKX is one who, they're big fans of reciprocity and they emulate a lot of their play styles. And so that's why you see kind of the patience, you know, they're trying to, you know, have very good 2-to-1 hill setups, knowing when to push, knowing when to slow down the pace of the game. We're seeing it right now on this hill currently, and it is so difficult for Rated R to even get in and get this cap. But they're going to get together and get this hill on the board, but all 5 of them on our screen is look like they're looking in multiple different directions.
Right.
They need to try to focus on the same thing.
Round slows down just a tad. 2-to-1 hill advantage for Rated R. The push is going to come through here for TKX. However, Sergio, the first line of defense, wanted to maybe try and bait that out a little bit. The shock grenades are out as well. Dragons wants to just try and clean up at least one. The support of a teammate is there. A good defensive hold there of the mid-neutral hill from Rated R, and that may now actually give them license to put pressure on the other side of the map. Maybe try and play for the home hills, and more importantly, play for the trip cap.
Prodigy, 1v2 situation, gets the melee, but he gets a chunk and takes one to the grave. That's the best you could have wanted out of that sticky spot. But 2-to-1 hill in favor of Rated R, and they have a 20-point lead. But as I say that, the D hill, actually, nope, they get it back.
Yeah, they were able to defend there.
So they're in a good spot. They don't have to do too much. They got 4 players watching E. They got 1 off respawn watching D.
The key here is keep your eye on 6 on the minimap, because he's going to have to consciously make the decision to OE here.
Yep.
You can watch bottom middle all you want, and you can pray your teammates, you know, win that fight, but you will consciously have to take the game.
He has a Lancer angle up top as well, so that's one thing. He is able to help with the cross. So
you got 24 seconds, Guy. You have to try and make a play elsewhere on the map. Draw resources away from the mid-neutral fight. You're aiding your team by trying to force a 1v1 on the home hill of Rated R.
This is looking good for TKX. They got the kills that they needed. They need to Wolfpack as a team, cap the E-hill. The question is, do they win off 2? And they're about to find out now, and they do not. So I think that if they would have realized it a lot sooner, they could have Wolfpacked. They had some players drop back and rotate all the way around the map, but once they picked up those 3 kills in quick succession, it needs to be go, go, go towards the D-hill.
Problem was, though, it was just a little too slow when he finally made his move. Already, Rated R had conceded the mid-neutral hill and it started to put resources on their home hill. Trip cap coming through. Well, does it even matter?
Too slow, but the timing perfect in the end. Dynamic and Prodigy getting double kills there on the home hill. That's what they needed. Because at first, they won the fight. One of the players up top at the E-hill, instead of going forward, he wrapped all the way around through spawn and came back down low. But with the time limit there, if they were all just aggressive, they probably could have just scared they probably could have just scared Rated R from just not even respawning in the first place.
It doesn't matter. They win the round anyway, but they could have maybe won it a little easier, I think, is the point there that can be made. Either way, they stay alive as we head over to another weapon placement.
And each team, mirror placement so far. Is this the Botok? Yep. So they're going to be giving that pistol option to one of their players. And we talked about all tournament and how powerful that weapon is. And you know, one shot to the body, you're pretty much, you know, 90% right there. So, you know, if you get hit with a bullet and that Botok's there, you need to watch out and keep your head down because it can get headshots from afar.
Definitely hits hard, I mentioned. TKX trying to again fight back into this map number 2. Down 3-2. Sergio up top. He's gonna fall. It's Prodigy that shuts him down. Dynamic was there, of course, to find the original down. Mid-neutral being capped up, but of course neither team want to give it up.
Yep, none of these guys want to give up this hill. This is typically a scrappy hill, usually a tug-of-war battle, and That's why you saw the shock grenades get built early on and the respawn timers halved, and everybody was focusing on that, and it was for this exact situation. You see how narrow it is. That shock does such a good job at zoning opponents.
Definitely does. Sergio back up top. There's the down. There's the kill. One more that he has to try and take the fight. Can he find it? Unfortunately, misses that shot, which could have been the difference maker.
Good crossfire. Good teamwork there by TKX. I want to say a teammate was able to get a stray Lancer bullet in there and down him as the other guy was reloading. So they saved that situation, and they do have the 2-to-1 hill set up. TKX is about to currently have the lead as well. We'll see how they want to hold this one, because you see the members of Rated R grouping up on the other side. Let's see how good this defense is going to be.
And just again, keep your eyes on that minimap. The way the blue arrows are going to be moving around the map, that's going to really indicate what are they going to try and break, how are they going to try and break the hill. Unfortunately, that's not the best start. Dov goes down. Those that will clean up as well. Trip cap coming through, and it's going to be potentially a swarm victory in the form of TKX. The kills go through, and honestly, you're left with the question, just don't even bother spawning in. Not worth it. You don't stand a chance of breaking your home hill. You're forced to concede the round, and TKX tie things up.
For the first time, we have a tie game, Benson, so
That's
hopefully...
not true. We started off at 0-0.
You are absolutely right. Now, TKX can get some momentum off of that. They've been playing well these last few rounds. It looks like they know what they want to do. Rated R, they've been so good, though. They've been so good off these initials. Their aggression has been just smothering their opponents. And, you know, early on, they've been doing great at holding these leads. We'll see if they can do it again, though.
That's about just getting the extra confidence to take control of map number 2 and put yourself in a map-winning situation or position and force that game 3, and then all of a sudden, well, maybe we have an upset on our car. It's a Pro League team, maybe falling a little early.
Also, we did see a block come through for Rated R. They blocked the shot grenade for TKX. Now, Rated R saying if we can get this win and get to series point right there, then that would be huge. So they're betting on the gamble. We'll see if it works out.
Shot grenade used. Dynamic is essentially just trapped in the corner. He does have teammates with him though, so he obviously doesn't need to worry about the push just yet, but Rated R will control the mid-neutral hill. And because of that, start to build an early lead.
Sergio has the Botox for Rated R. Sam's has it for TKX. Sergio just trying to get some shots with it. Hits like a long-range shotgun. Dragons gets the up A, and that's a double kill.
Sure is. Dynamic and Prodigy both full, and he isn't done just yet. There's number 3. Lucho goes down. Sam's, be careful. Dragons is a man on a mission right now as he looks to try and find yet another kill. Has a teammate giving him a little bit of crossfire, and honestly, if he wants to, he could try and attack the home hill of TKX. The mid-neutral is being decapped as well. Dragons decides, though, nope, doesn't want to stay around too long for that fight, but I don't think Toast got the message.
4 members of TKX spawned up, got their home hill back. Now the question is, do they rotate down low? Dragons is being a nuisance down low by the tracks, and he's getting some shots in with that Lancer, trying to get a few people to be focused on him, drawing some attention back so his teammates have an easier job holding the E-hill. And don't forget, the shock grenade is blocked off for TKX, so it's not going to be in this round. But they do have to do a good job dealing with Rated Rs.
And the pressure's still going to come in. Bottom
Big
middle.
fight.
Todes finds himself the pick there on towards
I've
Dov.
been super impressed with those this matchup.
Playing extremely well. You're absolutely right. The problem is, though, his life management hasn't necessarily been the best. He's going to be down to 0 respawns left if he spawns up in this round. There's still 80 seconds for a win condition to come through because the E-hill is once again going back down to neutral. Rated R are very much in control, 172 to 99, and despite being 2-to-1 hills down, in fact, no, Swarm will win in 73 seconds, but it's going to be a nail-biter, so Rated R, they're going to have to make the play.
Yeah, they definitely do. And Nodes has no more respawns at all either, so he has to be careful. That flank can happen. Dragons finds 2. He's looking for the 3rd, and he wants it. He calls for reinforcements. Lucho cannot get back in time. He actually manages to retreat to the pavilion, but now scurrying away, Sam's is looking, he's in a pinch. Prodigy. He goes down as well.
Prodigy just spawned in as well, which he was hovering, he was hesitating, didn't know whether he should, and honestly, I think the answer is no, you absolutely shouldn't have. This was a round which was almost impossible for you to win.
Dragons goes off. That flank was so key.
Yeah, I think there's certain rounds, guys, that players still just don't know when to concede because you want to save your respawns for what could potentially now be your last round. Instead, extra damage has been done unnecessarily. That was a round that you were never going to win. It wasn't going to happen. Save your respawn, have yourself an extra one for the next round.
Now, granted, they did have the win condition at a point, But I think the
Not when he spawned in. Not when he
no,
spawned in.
yeah, not there at that point. You're absolutely right.
This was a nice play, though.
Yeah, it gets the double, the triple in position. Lucho ends up escape. Actually, does not escape right there. He gets cleaned up.
And that was really the moment where if you keep your eye on Prodigy right down there, is where he opted to spawn in, and it was an impossible situation. Of course, Dodas is down. He didn't have any respawns left either. So just based off economy of lives alone, when you look at this final round, you have to favor Rated R here to close this out 2-0.
And I don't see why you wouldn't. You know, but off the initial, so Nodes is the front spine. He's going to have to do something different. TKX, they have their shock grenade back, so that's going to help them out a lot up top because being able to play that fight without having one is so difficult. Lucho has a good cross here towards the middle.
Nice angle.
For some of these players back, Dragon's out of position. The smoke grenade is nice, though, but it blocks off that angle. It forces the rotation for TKX to get out of there and try to find a different angle at the E-hill, and those players are going to choose to put some pressure on the flank.
Oh, and Prodigy tries to roll forward. Dragons is ready and waiting. To find himself a free kill. The E-hill now being capped up by Rated R. Said you feel that they should have control. They've just grabbed this round by the scruff of the neck and honestly set themselves in such a good position here to close out this series.
An important round. Looking at the respawns, and it's just Nodes with the one and Prodigy with one respawn as well. Lucho gets an important kill on Toast there. He's going to be at one respawn after that one. 2 rounds left maximum in this match. If you are a TKX fan, they need to win 2 to force a map number 3. Rated R just needs 1. They're on series point.
And they're basically now at the point where you cannot make any mistakes. You have to play flawlessly here because Rated R, they have such a big cushion. They can force and bait out mistakes, bait unfavorable trades if necessary, but nice headshot from Sams. Is that going to be enough, though, to open up the E-hill? I'm not quite sure it is.
His teammates are on the flank. If they can win that fight towards the back lane, Sergio may drop back, and if Sams can recognize that he has a 1v1, but his teammates said, we got the shock. The shock didn't get a good spread, but he knows he has an angle on Dragons, and he can take him out if he chooses to run away. Trying to cap this on the edge. He's looking for the sweet spot. He needs a teammate to get there, maybe with a flash grenade to help him out, but actually these kills can go in their favor because that's a wild push there by Rated R.
A little maybe overzealous, I think you could say, and that's 4 down, and all 3 dead now as the cleanup comes through. Dragons is going to put pressure on the home hill.
Lucho, do you got what it takes? He has 2 players in the area, 1 down. Here comes the cavalry. The Lancer's out. This is a big round for TKX.
Similar to a round really prior, and they're applying so much pressure onto the home hill.
They need to just get in the hill, force the fight.
For now, they don't want to jump in just yet. Dov doing a good job of being the first line of defense. He will go down. Toast is there, though. The revive will come through. The shock grenades are out. No one's been in a position really to OE, and that's because of the fantastic job that Dodas was actually doing for TKX. He's covering the mid-neutral hill completely by himself. The win condition coming in. Will the hill be broken? You would expect it to be. The touch comes through, but it's not over just yet. Sergio, can you go big for the team? Ooh. The answer is no, and this will be sent to a final round of map 2.
Oh, yeah, both these teams going to remember this matchup. Round number 9, Asylum. I love the push at the end, and you know what? So much patience by TKX. They covered all lanes, and once they recognized that multiple players were there on the flank, they saw their opportunity. They saw a clear man advantage, and they hopped on the hill, and then they forced the fight. They had to force all players to find a win condition for Rated R, and that took them all out of their hiding spots. Now, TKX has a block. And this is where they can get payback on the last round and block their shot grenade. Yes, I love the play.
Big advantage now.
Now, if you want to choose to fight maybe elsewhere and put something big down low, you can, but incendiary grenade, it's good for Rated R that they at least have some type of utility grenade to use in that close quarters fight at E, but it's going to get to the fight late. Also, the respawn, it's every minute, every 2 minutes that nade's going to be up versus every minute the shot grenade's up on the other half.
We'll see how the final round here. Game 2 is going to start to develop. Of course, TKX looking to have a fairy tale story here in San Diego. Team from the open bracket playing, of course, a Pro League team in Rated R. Rated R win map number 1, though, and already a good start to this one as TKX find first blood.
3 players with 1 respawn on the side of Rated R. Only 2 on TKX.
The advantage there as well. Definitely worth noting. Again, it's about prioritizing the kills, understanding which are the important ones that it's worth giving away maybe one of your extra lives to try and secure.
And see, in this situation, when you know that you have a flash grenade, it comes up every minute. Even if you don't win initial, it's okay. Make sure they don't cap the hill. You're going to have that flash grenade before they even have another incinerator grenade, and you're going to have a third one by the time they get that one. So they know they're going to have an advantage very, very soon. So I'm loving the patience here out of TKX.
It's about really being patient and understanding when that advantage is going to come and then how to use that advantage as well on the map. But for now, and the chest starts to develop.
And there's the shot grenade picked up down low. It's about to be brought over towards the E-hill. Multiple downs are there. The shot goes deep. It cuts off the lane.
So close.
They trap one player in. They need to make sure Dove doesn't get any kills, but the help is there. Not enough members of TKX to try to get this E-hill back.
Yeah, that was the play. I mean, you use the shot grenade, you isolate one, and you try and shut him down. But unfortunately for them, they actually lose that trade despite a minute advantage that they actually had in the situation. Toast is down. Teammate will scramble over to pick him up. Rated R once again looking to just defend the E-hill. And Lucho, nicely played. So many times you see players maybe whiff that shot despite it being one of the easiest.
If he gets a flank here, this would be a wild flank. And it'll be very good for TKX.
I don't know if you can even afford to do it now because you're left in a situation where a lot of pressure is going to come over towards this D-hill. Lucho's left really having to make a big play, and he gets it down, but it's not going to be enough. He will drop, and Rated R are now fully in control. Dodos can't spawn in, neither can Prodigy. The numbers are against TKX, and Rated R exploit that fantastically. A big,
Sam's, can you go big? He gets a double.
Now, absolutely
Here's
not.
help. Lucho, it's your turn for a double kill.
Even if he gets a double kill, it's not going to matter. The game, well and truly, done and dusted, guy.
And you see Rated R showing that experience from the European Pro League and all those great games that they got in. Keeping composed, and they closed that one out in map number 2, round 9. And yeah, you know, taking it back and just kind of recapping that entire last round, it just came down to the leadership on the side of TKX of being patient there, knowing that you have a clear advantage when it comes down to the weapon placements and just utilizing that. Play for the 2-to-1, play off that shot grenade. How can you utilize that shot grenade in that moment to get the best out of it?
Of course, I think, you know, on the side of TKX, though, you can say, well, that was a fantastic showing. Our first major that we're going to come and compete at. We go flawlessly through the open bracket. We make it to the championship bracket, which is, for most open teams, a dream in itself.
It really is.
And a good showing. It wasn't as if they, you know, came up against a Pro League team and they got rolled over. I mean, the last one goes the distance, and there was a really big opportunity where maybe they actually could have won that. So, honestly, I think you should be very proud of yourselves when you, when you go back and you watch this VOD.
100% be proud of yourselves. That was their first loss of the entire tournament.
Yep.
And it was against a good team.
A Pro League team.
Yes, it was. And I'm happy they made it to the main stage. Yeah. Congrats to both of those guys. Rated R, they get placed in the money.
Yeah, that's also another point. And of course, now we're at the point where as you progress through the tournament, you start earning a little bit more money per round. And then hopefully, of course, if you're good enough, you get all the way towards the championship final. But that's going to be everything from myself and Guy. We'll send it now over to our lovely analysts.